This is going to be a mini lecture about the causes versus reasons of porn use. If you want to get this from the horse's mouth, please read the Freedom Model. I'll link it in the description. It's a free book. You can use the coupon code. It will take the money down from $13 to $0. Read the whole thing. It's got a chapter on it in that book. But I'm going to give you my point of view with regard to porn addiction. The Freedom Model is a general book for all addictions. This is for porn addiction. This is the solution. This is your solution. This is what you need. Trust me, I went through this process of 6 years, and this is the real truth behind the madness, behind the confusion. This is really what you fucking need. So, let's go. If you believe circumstances, external circumstances, cause you to PMO as if you have no choice, then you will feel as though you have no choice, right? So I'm going to make some comparisons in this table down here. First of all, let me just talk about what I mean in a little bit more depth, right? So, if you instead view PMO use as a decision that you choose, right? A decision, every single time it's a decision, then you can then rethink those reasons as to why you make that decision, because decisions are made from reasons. If you decide to have a job here or a job there, if you choose to do physics at university, or if you choose to do engineering, or if you choose to do chemistry, those are all different choices, and you can choose based on reasons. Maybe you think engineering's got more money, but I prefer physics because then I get to do quantum physics and I really want to do that. Or maybe chemistry is really good because I was really good at chemistry at school and I think I'll be able to get a first if I do chemistry, right? It's the same thing when you're choosing what book do I read before bed. Well, I could read a self-help book because that will help me learn, but I could read a fiction book. That will be more fun. It'll help me get to bed easier. These are choices that we make in our lives all the time. I could choose to drink the protein shake, or I could choose to eat like some unhealthy food. You know, the protein shake's got more protein, but the unhealthy food, maybe that's going to add more value in terms of taste. This is like logical. We go through this shit all the time, but for some reason with PMO, we believe that it's this external force that comes from the outside and then grips our hearts and manipulates us and animates us into uncontrollably PMOing, right? We call these substances addictive substances. We make a whole new category of them, a whole new brand, right? In truth, there are no addictive substances. They don't exist. Lots of people will PMO once, twice, 5 times for a few years, and then they'll just stop. In fact, most alcoholics, most cocaine users, they will just stop. It's like 90% plus will stop on their own without treatment. The trouble comes when you start to view external circumstances as being things that cause you to use PMO, because by viewing it in this way, you relinquish your own control. You give up your own control, and not control as in the ability to resist cravings. By thinking that something that you're doing isn't due to your own reason, but is due to something that's forcing your hand, you can very clearly see how you're going to feel as though you're pushed into something and that you have no choice. If someone locks you in a cage, you very clearly have no choice there. You're being forced. If someone pushes you over to the ground, you've got no choice there. They've pushed you. They've acted upon you. But with PMO, we reason every single time as to why we think PMO would be a good choice. Every single time. Yet there's this boogeyman, this creation of NoFap. NoFap created PMO addiction, and they're trying to get it. Now they're trying to create all these like sex addiction disorders. It's a complete fucking mess. This is just going to help you out a fuckload. You might think that PMO is an addiction because there are heavy consequences. You'd think, oh, well, I must be addicted because otherwise I would stop, right? If there are heavy consequences to doing something and I'm not stopping, well, then maybe I am addicted, right? That seems quite logical, doesn't it? The thing is that there are also very strong reasons as to why you want to PMO. The concept of addiction locks all of this in, because as soon as you believe that you're caused, you're going to feel caused, it's going to be fucking hard to stop. When you believe that you're reasoning everything through, you can then examine those reasons. Does PMO really relieve stress? Does PMO really relax me? Do I really need PMO to be happy in life? I could be happier without it. And seeing as I'm not forced, seeing as I have complete freedom, complete free will, well, I could just do it. This is what most people go through with all kinds of addictions. Anyway, I've got this nice little table here. So here are various circumstances on the left. Here are causes. This is your fixed view. This might be the view that you're holding at the moment. And then there's the reasons. This is what's actually going on, right? This is the truth. And I know this. I went through PMO, heavy PMO use for years and years and years and years. So I really know what I'm talking about when this shit happens. I've gone through it thousands of times. So circumstance, I feel like shit. If you're in this addiction view, this causal view, this fixed view, this view that something's compelling you to PMO, first of all, how can something compel you to use? You're the only one in here. There's not another entity in here. There's not more than one person in here. It's always you. It's not like someone's forcing me. If Francis Ngannou or some huge Arnold Schwarzenegger, some huge bodybuilder chose to punch me or pin me against the wall, it's fuck all I can do about that. But Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't in my own head pulling strings. I'm the only one in here. I'm the one who's reasoning every action that I do. My reasoning might be dysfunctional, it might be false, but it's still reasoning. Still me. Alright? So, anyway. Causal view. I feel like shit. Because this is the causal view, yeah? Because I feel like shit, that means I will PMO. Right? You feel like shit, you're like, oh, I will PMO because I'm addicted. The reasoning view is I feel like shit, and therefore I think that I should PMO in order to solve that temporarily. Because I feel like shit, PMO will make me feel good, so I'm going to PMO right now to make myself feel good. What's more logical, right? We're scared of this. We're scared of the reasoning view because that puts the burden, that puts the responsibility on us. But luckily, willpower and white knuckling isn't a factor here. Luckily, if it were, then it would be harder, but it would still be, it isn't a fucking thing. That's another topic. That's really another topic. But trust me, you don't need willpower because think about it, right? Is if you change your reasoning, given that PMO use is the result of your reasoning, given that it's the result of your reasoning, then not PMOing is also the result of your reasoning. Do you get it? If I reason that I can have the protein shake, then I can think about my reasons again. If let's say I'm eating unhealthy foods, I can think to myself, what's this unhealthy food really giving me? Is it really that pleasurable? Is it really doing much for me? If I feel like it really isn't, and that the protein shake does, then I'll start drinking protein shakes. You see this all the time with fat people who change their lives, and they're not doing it because of willpower. They're not having to white knuckle it. They're like, look, man, I want to make a change. I'm not really seeing much value in the previous actions I was doing. Maybe it's worth me losing some weight. It's no different here. It's all the changes, all of the decisions, they're all the same type of thing. It's this concept of addiction that clouds it all. You can rethink your choices and you can make new ones. Anyway, I'm bored. Because I'm bored, I will PMO. You see how it's causal. Because I am bored, that means I will PMO. It means I'm compelled to PMO. That's the belief. This isn't actually true. The truth is, I'm bored and I see a PMO as a solution to that boredom. In the same way that if I'm like bored in the nighttime, I might see reading as a solution to my boredom. If I can't sleep, I might see reading as a solution that will help me drift off. If I'm stuck somewhere in town and it's late at night and all the buses have stopped, I might think, shit, all the buses have stopped. I might have to get an Uber. The Uber's going to cost me 20 quid. And I don't want to spend 20 quid. I'd much rather spend the £2 on the bus. But fuck it. I've got no choice. I'm going to get the Uber here. It's the best choice. I'd rather do that than walk. Okay? I'm stressed. Because I'm really stressed, I will PMO. Because I feel stressed, that my brain is going to lurch towards PMO. You see how it's coming from the outside? The realism is, you feel stressed and you're like, if you slow down, you think, PMO would be a good solution right now. I'd really like to PMO right now. It would be a solution to my stress. And now you might think, fuck, but PMO really is a solution to my stress. Not necessarily. The rethinking part is going to come at a later date in a later video. If you want to know about that shit ASAP, read the freedom model all the way through. That would just solve your whole thing. What I'm doing here is interpreting the freedom model in terms of PMO. I don't want to say PMO addiction, heavy PMO use, right? I'm horny, sexually aroused. Because I'm sexually aroused, I will PMO. Because that's what men do, right? That's what men do. When men are horny, men have to ejaculate. Men have to PMO. That might be your view. It's causal, right? Not true. The truth may be, right, the reasoning may be in your head, the script in your head may be, I'm really horny, I want to PMO to make the feeling go away. Now, one thing I want to talk about here is habit. Habits are not compulsions. Habits are things that allow us to tap into reasoning that we've used over and over and over and over and over again. When I go up to the sink and it's nighttime, I might just automatically start brushing my teeth. Am I compelled to do it? No. I'm just not thinking, and I'm just brushing my teeth. I might have even brushed my teeth that night. I might just fucking be doing it because I'm just out of habit. When I get into the car, I turn the car on, put my seatbelt in, whatever. Have you ever gone into a room for a reason, and then when you get into the room, you forget that reason and you start doing something else? Yeah? We've all been in that situation. You go into your room because you're like, fuck, I need my wallet. You go into your room and then you start putting deodorant on, or you start like fixing your hair, or you start like doing something, sorting out your desk, and then you leave the room and you're like, shit, I didn't get my wallet. It's because of just habit. The habit of just trying to sort everything out. I'm in my room, I'm just going to sort everything out. It's just a habit. It's not compulsion. It's just a script that you're holding in your head, reasoning that you're holding in your head. Now, when you reason to do something new, it's going to be on the forefront. It's going to be conscious. But as you do it more and more, that reasoning is going to become less and less conscious as you do it more and more. This isn't a slippery slope. This isn't compulsion, because the reason why it's not compulsion is because you can then rethink that, and you can go back or you can go forward. You can use your reasoning in any which way you want. It doesn't have to be this habit that you are bound to. Do you see what I mean? The habit is the reasoning that's just become more automatic. It's become quicker. That's what it's become, quicker. Just because it's quicker doesn't mean it's got any force behind it. It doesn't, because you can just as easily re-reason it, yeah? You might want to pause it and think, you might want to pause the video and just like read through this, because this is pretty fucking good. I wrote this. Anyway, another circumstance. I'm lonely and I wish I had a nice, lovely girlfriend, yeah? We've all been like this, we're all young dudes. I used to be like this. Then I learned pick up, I learned cold approach, and I solved that problem. But anyway, before you might be like, oh, because I have no girlfriend to make love with, I must PMO, because that's how men work. Men need this biologically. You might view it as causal in that way. When in reality, you're thinking, I have no girlfriend and I feel lonely. If I PMO, then that will at least give me the illusion of having a girlfriend temporarily, right? This is why OnlyFans is so popular, by the way. But anyway, you can do this with regular PMO. This might be your reasoning with regular PMO. You might just see PMO as a solution to that in that moment. Does it mean that your cause there is the circumstance causing you? Is it like this? Is it like gravity? This is gravity. This is cause and effect, motherfucker. Look at this. Ready? I'm going to drop this. It's going to fall. I can guarantee you. I will guarantee you that when I drop this, it will fall. Ready? Boom. You see that? Cause and effect. Science. You not having a girlfriend isn't causal, because otherwise everyone that doesn't have a girlfriend would be uncontrollably fapping all day. It's not how it works. It's because reason is the key. Other people in their minds will reason, I don't have a girlfriend, but that doesn't mean I have to PMO. I don't even want to PMO. Yeah, I don't have a girlfriend. Yeah, I feel lonely, but I'm going to reason that PMO isn't really a solution to that, even temporarily. I could instead just do whatever. I could just chill out. I could just go for a walk. I could just be lonely for a bit. But then in the future, I'll get a girlfriend eventually. I'm going to plan out. I'm going to plan doing some cold approaches in the future, right? I'm going to go to the gym and improve myself and get out there socially and try and meet someone. Yeah. It's not causal, for goodness sake. It's not causal. It's something that you've reasoned in your own mind. It's not addiction. It's not compulsion. If you have a thought about PMO, the causal view is because I had a thought about PMO, then I will PMO. And I've been there countless times, by the way, with this, where you have a thought like, thought about PMO, thought about doing PMO, and because you think, I'm addicted, I must do it, that's what actually it becomes the reason. Yeah? Your reasoning is, because I'm addicted, therefore I must PMO. You think that's real. You think that causation is real. You think that cause and effect, that addiction, that compulsion is real. When really you're just using that idea as reasoning, as another reason as to why you need to PMO and why it would be hard to stop. Anyway, the reality is you could be like, I thought about PMO. PMO feel good right now. I should PMO. But as I said, more realistically, it's probably that because I had a thought about PMO, man, I can't resist PMO. It's so good. Now I've had a thought about it. I might as well get this over and done with. I might as well use. It's a shame. That's all reasoning. There's no chemistry forcing your hand. Otherwise, if there was, when we go to the movies and we have all that dopamine, I watched Oppenheimer recently on IMAX. It was pretty good. That movie was good. Would I go back and watch it again? No, I see no point in it. I am in control here. If I reason that I do want to go back and watch it, I'll go back and watch it. If I thought it was really good, I thought it was worth seeing twice, I'll go see it again. Some people do that with movies. I personally don't. I never really watch one movie more than once in the cinema as well. Because in my head, I'm reasoning, if I'm going to the cinema, I'm going to watch a new movie because that'll be more worth my time. You see how all the reasoning shit works? You see how we just run by reason? And it's not like we're run by reason. Reason is an outside force. We are reasoning. I'm reasoning right now. I'm reasoning. I'm going to lift up these headphones because I want to just show you that I can reason, right? So we're always in control, and not in control like we can resist cravings. We do not get cravings. We actively crave. We actively desire because of the value we see in things. As stated in this far column here, these are the beliefs that you may hold. And by God, if you hold these beliefs, of course you're going to want PMO. If you actually believe this shit is true, of course you're going to PMO. That's a separate topic, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to debunk all of this stuff for you. But it's going to take time because I want to get it right. In the meantime, you can go through the freedom model and you can read all of this stuff and you can turn this reason, you can turn it into this, yeah? You can turn it into, I feel like shit. And instead of, I feel like shit, therefore I should PMO, you can think, I feel like shit. But PMO isn't going to make me, not Jamaican, make me feel better. I'd actually feel the best not PMOing and just continuing with my day. That might actually be the better option for you through your reasoning because you just won't view PMO as a solution there. You see? You might be like, yeah, like I'm bored. I think PMO will solve that boredom. I'm bored. PMO may help with the boredom, but so will many other things. I could drink right now, and maybe that would solve the boredom. I'm not going to do either of those things. I'm just going to go for a walk and listen to an audiobook. Or I'm just going to read. Or I'm going to see if my friend wants to meet up. PMO is a shitty solution here. I'm not compelled. I choose not to because I don't wanna. Right? That could literally be it. And trust me, once you're in this mindset of like freely being able to choose and you just don't see PMO as a great solution, your reasoning becomes, why the fuck would I PMO? There's no point. I don't want to. It's just a bit gross and a bit nasty. And I love the benefits of not PMOing, so I'm just going to not. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'm pretty sure you get the point. If you're still watching right now, you really need to read the freedom model because you're watching this video all the way fucking through. You're very familiar with these ideas. I'm probably making a lot of sense to you. God damn it, read that book. I didn't write it. These guys who wrote it have been working on this shit for decades. And those guys are real experts. That's where I'm getting all of these ideas from. There's a chapter literally called Causes and Reasons in it, and it's fantastic. And you should read that book if you want to solve your problem. Like, it's fucking goated. Go read it. It's free as well. I've made it free because I found the free code. It's not like a scam code. These guys give it out for free because they want to help people, and they understand that, like, I don't know why they make it free. I think they just want to help people, to be honest. And they also realize that it's a sales funnel in the sense that if people read the book, then they're more likely, then some of those people will want coaching or whatever. But, the book is fucking goated. Please give that a read. And after you've read it, you can get in contact with me on Telegram and I'll help you for free. I'm just trying to start out with this stuff. Like, I will charge in the future, but for now, I just want to get used to getting to grips with helping people. So if you read that and then contact me, I will help you for free. So yeah, otherwise, hope you enjoyed. Hope it's been enlightening for you. I think it has been because these are so common. This whole thing is so common. People having this fixed view, and they don't realize the fixed view is actually bullshit, and they're actually reasoning through every single damn time, and the reasoning has become so embedded in habit that it becomes fast, and because it's fast, they view it as a cause. That's because it's fast, they think it's a cause. They think it's dopamine. It's not dopamine. It's just habit, and it's still reason. It's still belief. Anyway, that's it. I've rambled on for long enough. It's the end.